So, as you're aware, on March 18th, County Judge Barbara Canales, Mayor Joe McComb signed an amended order regarding the public and private gatherings. The declaration prohibits all indoor and outdoor gatherings within a closed space of 50 or more anywhere in the city of Corpus Christi. So we want to let the public know that that is a lawful order, and it does have enforceable action attached to it. It's from the Chapter 16 of the Government Code, allows officers to take enforcement action if someone violates that. So that being said, we have a great community. And as we communicate these changes that are coming, and we can continue to see them come, we know that the majority of our community is taking it to heart. They're taking these proactive measures. They are important for us to basically impact that curve that we know is coming, that the spike of these cases. And we know that most of our folks are going to follow these orders. But in the event that we do become aware of a location that is in violation of this, we will send officers to the location. A supervisor will go to the location. It's important to note that it takes, we start with a warning. We will educate the individuals at the location of the notice. They may not be aware of it. After education is done, we'll ask for them to disperse. If they don't, then we'll give them a warning to disperse. And after that, other enforcement actions to take. Again, I think our community is being very proactive, and as well as our city government and county governments to try to stem the spread of the COVID-19 virus. We want the public to know that the police department is prepared for the upcoming events and preparing to respond to those upcoming events.
Chief, any sort of citations going to be given out to the...
That is one of the things that it can lead to an arrest or a citation is possible. Although compliance is what we're looking for, we're not looking to put people in jail over this, but we do need people to stay to adhere to these orders.
When would this patrolling start?
This started we started this with the 250 or the 500 that came out last week, and now the 250 that we have, and then we got the 250, and then this is the most updated. So when we had the 500, there wasn't that many locations that had those events, and they were voluntarily canceling. And then we got the 250. It becomes a little more restrictive. And now that we're down to the 50, we know that is there's a larger volume of locations that may have that 50, and so we're trying to take some proactive approaches to educating those folks, then warning them, and then taking enforcement action if necessary.
Chief, as far as establishments that don't want to close, like gyms or bars, that they still keep on going?
Well, we have to adhere to what the law is, and right now it's 50, but then there are exceptions to what is not a mass gathering, and that includes locations where there may be 50 people in one location, but there are people coming and going, and they're not within arm's reach of one another. So the statute provides several exceptions to what is not a mass gathering, and the officers have all been provided that information. We will have supervisors responding to all these calls because it's not something we do on a daily basis, so we want to make sure we're getting it right. We want to make sure we're doing consistent police work and consistent responses to the public, because we want to avoid any confusion in this.
Sure.
I was just going to ask, since we got to 250 and now to 50, have you had any calls? Have you had to do any enforcement at all?
We've had some. We started with education, and we knew there was a circus in town, and that was when we were at 500. And we had district captains went to that, and we had a carnival. So we've been taking a very proactive approach of locating those locations. And like I said, we have not had to take any enforcement action. And with the great citizens of Corpus Christi, I believe we will be taking very little or no enforcement action, but we will be responding to those calls, investigating them. Hopefully we're able to handle it through education and warnings.
And this is, well, indefinite, right?
So this order was, I believe it's good for 7 days, and or until it changes. So you know, this is a situation that's evolving, and I think our community is doing a good job of responding proactively, and we're getting ready for things to come.
Are you guys going through any sort of special training for this, taking over this new task?
Okay, so we are well prepared for this. Just in the police department, we have all hazards plan that covers pretty much any hazard, and we have an annex in there for pandemics. So we've had that for several years now. Now, what we are accustomed to in South Texas is hurricanes, and we are well prepared and experienced in dealing with those sort of issues. And that sort of skill level and education and training really just spills over to what we're doing now. And so I believe our community already sort of has an enhanced ability to respond to emergencies compared to maybe locations that aren't used to preparing for hurricanes or have experienced a hurricane. I think that's something important to note. And so all of our officers have been provided the plan, and we're giving daily updates and daily communication. We've opened our Department Operations Center, and we're having daily meetings on that, and we have been, and this has been going on for the last couple of weeks. We've been in a mode of preparing for what's to come. Any other questions?
Are there any modifications that officers are making on the street to kind of keep distance between?
Right. So yes, we are. We have been since the beginning of this stressing social distance. Obviously, there's sometimes in police work where we do have to get much closer to people and contact them, and so we are stressing the hygiene of washing hands immediately. We've provided the hand gels to the officers to make sure that they can clean their hands after they do have to contact someone.
Thanks very much.
Sure.
Do one more question?
Sure.
The governor just signed an order that's going to close all the bars and restaurants and take it down to 10.
Right, right. Okay, so.
How much more of a challenge is that going to be?
Okay, so I did see that on the way up here. It doesn't change the way we really operate. Challenging though, yeah, it is. So what we do is everyone be patient, allow this order to get out to all those places. I'm confident that 99% of our great businesses here in our community are going to adhere to that order. And so give them some time to figure that out, and then we'll be available to respond to those locations that are not adhering and make sure that they're educated, warned, and then enforcement action is taken.